What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on Brainflow TV. Let's get right into the topics. So, Sean P Diddy Combs, Brother Love, Diddy, however you want to call him anything but broke and call him anything but not famous, because he is paid and famous. Anyways, the bad boy head honcho, who recently settled a lawsuit with Cassie, who was his artist and his girlfriend at one point in history, has now seen two more charges filed against him by two separate individuals. There are two more women out here who are saying, yo, he did this to me, he did that to me. That is what this video is about. The details of Cassie's accusations are not in this video. The details of the other two women are in this video. So if you're interested in those details, then stick around. Let's start out with the one that filed right after Cassie filed hers, which was settled in less than 24 hours. Before I say this, let me say this. I think that the fact that P Diddy did not contest Cassie's accusations, didn't take it to court and fight it, that he settled it quietly, and he settled it so quick, it gave other people hope that maybe if I throw something out there, he'll settle that quickly too. Behind the scenes, we won't even have to go to court. Here's the first one. It says at ABC7 on the news, Sean P Diddy Combs was hit with a second lawsuit in as many weeks, accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman who claims that she was also a victim of revenge porn by Sean P Diddy Combs. The civil suit that was filed under the New York Adult Survivors Act names Puffy and his companies, including Bad Boy Entertainment, and is just the latest in a rush of cases that have been filed against high-profile men, among others, as the window to file under the state's look-back law closes this week. If you don't understand what this is, somebody rejuvenated the law. So whoever was violated before but held on to it as a secret for so long until the statute of limitations ran out, those persons were given a 1-year grace period under what's called the New York Adult Survivors Act. A 1-year grace period to report and press charges or file a civil suit and get some money. That day ended November 24th of 2023 at midnight. That is why we've seen the sudden rush of all these accusations and cases coming forward. Jamie Foxx, Cuba Gooding Jr., the former president, I believe, of Bad Boy Records, just a bunch of other people. More new charges for Bill Cosby, and a lot of others. So let's get into the details of this. The civil suit that was filed in New York Supreme Court demands a trial by jury, and it seeks damages. The plaintiff brings the suit against defendant to redress the substantial and lifetime injuries as she has suffered as a result of being drugged, sexually assaulted and abused, and being the victim of revenge porn that she claims that Sean P Diddy Combs created and distributed. This is what the suit that's filed in the New York Supreme Court stated. Somewhere along the lines, she said that Puffy raped her, he filmed it, and he showed it to other people because she didn't give consent for that sexual encounter. A person of Sean P. Diddy Combs says that the allegations are made up and they're not credible, adding the move is purely a money grab. This last-minute lawsuit is an example of how a well-intentioned law can be turned on its head and used in a way that it was not intended to be used, said the individual. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates companies that did not even exist around that time. It continues to say, a representative for Bad Boy Entertainment was not immediately available for comments. So the alleged victim, who is known as Joy Dickerson Neal, she was a Syracuse University student at the time, and this was in a time of 1991, where the incident took place, and had previously appeared with Sean P. Diddy Combs in a few video clips of a music video that went on to become very popular. The suit alleged that she agreed to a dinner at a Harlem restaurant with Puffy. Reluctantly, she said, with Combs while she was on a school break for the holidays in January, when he pushed me to keep his company while he attended to a few things in the city. You know, he called and said he was going to be out in the city, moving around, taking care of some business, and he's going to need some company. Come out and have dinner with me. And she was like, okay. So the suit alleges that during their date, he intentionally drugged her, resulting in her being in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk. While at dinner with him, she left to use the restroom. And while she went to go use the restroom, she left her drinks on the table, unattended. That's what it says in the suit. In the car, it's alleged that she took a puff of a blunt. So she's already under the influence of whatever is in the drink, right? And it's creeping into her system. And then as they got into the car, she says that Puffy lit up a blunt and he pressured her. Come on, man, take a puff, puff it. Okay, take one pull. And she took a puff from the joint after being forced to. Anything after that, she says her memory is incomplete. She don't have all the details because a combination of whatever was in that drink, her drink being spiked, and a combination of that blunt, and she don't smoke weed or anything, hit her really hard. Driving first to a music studio, she remembers, where she said she could not get out of the car. Remember, she said she was incapacitated. She couldn't stand. She couldn't walk. She couldn't even talk properly. She said Combs then proceeded to a place that he was staying at, took her there, sexually assaulted her. Because she had been drugged, she lacked the physical ability or the mental capacity to actually fight him off, to say, no, stop. I don't want to do this. Why are you doing this? Get off of me. I'm going to scream. I'm running to the door. She couldn't do anything to defend herself. The suit alleges that Combs video recorded the sexual assault, and days later, a male friend who was a mutual friend and in the industry revealed to her, yo, I saw the video. She was like, what video? I saw a video of you and Puffy fucking. She was like, get out of here. She was horrified, according to her. Ms. Dickerson asked, how many people saw it? Did he show it to anybody else? How did you see it? The person replied to her, everyone saw it. She was mortified. Therefore, Dickerson alleges that her life went into a tailspin after this. She was actually admitted to a hospital for severe depression and suicide ideations. According to the lawsuit, Dickerson filed police reports at unspecified agencies in New York and in New Jersey and spoke to several prosecutors hoping to press charges back then because she wanted something done about it, and she was told that her allegations would need to be corroborated. Somebody else needed to say, yeah, man, I saw the tape. She was passed out on that tape and he was going to town on her. She's telling the truth. I seen it, or something, right? The suit goes on to say that Puffy had experienced great success with the launch of the late Notorious B.I.G.'s career, whose hit single Juicy had ran up and shot up on the charts, Billboard, and at the time, if you were around to witness it, Biggie was a big deal, like a big deal. And it was around that time that this happened. So while she is going to try to lodge complaints to law enforcement about him, Puffy is blowing up with Biggie and claims that the witnesses were terrified. So the homie that came and told her he saw the tape and that Puffy showed it to everybody else, him and anybody else who saw it that she knew, they were terrified. They were like, yo, I don't want them to retaliate against me for testifying on your behalf. So I'm sorry, but we're going to have to sit this one out. So she was left on her own. We didn't want to lose future business and music opportunities if they made a statement on her behalf. So the accuser was trying to gain a foothold in the music industry. Working as a location scout for an industry cameraman, she did that for a while. And then despite her allegations of emotional pain, she continued to work in the music industry at a DJ management company. After the incident, she eventually left as Puffy became bigger and bigger and bigger, and his presence was inescapable in the industry. Basically, if Puffy calls your name and says anything bad about you, nobody is going to want to hire you. So it was the filing of the lawsuit about abuse that Cassie Venture went through on November 16 that forced her, this person, to give her the courage to come out and say, hey, something happened to me as well. Combs' representative at the time said that it was in no way an admission of wrongdoing and does not in any way undermine his flat out denial of these claims. That's the second person. Cassie was the first. That's the details of the second one. Now we move into the details of the third one. And I'm telling you that some of this does not sit well. Why? Because I just watched an interview that apparently was done on Vlad TV. And the interview was done by Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall, swing era R&B singer Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall spoke about how he likes to show everybody how big his dingling is, and he likes to F in public, and he named a lot of famous people who he said have seen him. They know me. They all know me. They've been to my house. They've seen me, good girl. Now, check it out. Aaron Hall's name is called in the third lawsuit against Puffy, after him admitting to having intercourse with females in front of people. And I remember there's a part in there where he said, oh, Puffy watched me already. I know for a fact he watched me F a girl before. Now, Sean P Diddy Combs, according to the Daily Beast, shout out to them, Sean P Diddy Combs has been hit with a third lawsuit. This one is accusing him of sexual assault, this time from a Jane Doe who says that the hip-hop mogul and R&B star Aaron Hall took turns raping her and her friend more than 30 years ago. In the New York Supreme Court filing first obtained by Rolling Stone, the anonymous woman claims that she and her friend first met Diddy and Aaron Hall at a MCA Records event in New York City. The accuser also names MCA and Geffen Records as additional defendants who were enablers in her eyes. Now, according to the lawsuit, Combs and Hall, they were flirtatious and they were handsy, touchy-feely with Jane Doe and her friend, offering them drinks throughout the night before the foursome retreated to Aaron Hall's apartment, where Jane Doe was offered some more drinks, and she claims that she was coerced into having sex with Combs. So the picture she's trying to paint is they flooded us with drinks. The drinks were constant, young, not having a high tolerance for alcohol, got super drunk, and got coerced into having intercourse with Puffy. After the alleged assault, the lawsuit continues to say that Jane Doe laid in the bed. She didn't move. She was shocked. She was traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, slowly, in comes Aaron Hall. He barges into the room, pins her down on a bed, and forced her to have sex with him as well, even though she had just finished having sex with Puffy. Aaron Hall is a member of an R&B group called Guy, G-U-Y, and Guy was huge back in the day. Guy was credited as pioneering the New Jack Swing era, the sound in the late 1980s and early 90s. Jane Doe claims that she fled the apartment, and she was later informed by her friend that she too was also coerced into having sex with both men in separate rooms. Days later, Jane Doe further alleges that an irate Puffy came to her home and physically assaulted her, choking her to the point where she passed out. The lawsuit claims that Diddy was searching for Jane Doe's friend because he was worried that she would tell the girl that Puffy was with at the time about what Puffy and Aaron Hall had done to her and her friend. Reps for Puffy and for Aaron Hall, they did not immediately respond to the Daily Beast request for comments, but in other publications, they have denied that any of this ever happened. They call it a simple money grab. Puffy was named in two other bombshell lawsuits filed just before the end of the Adult Survivors Act, New York state law which authorized a 1-year period wherein alleged victims of sexual offenses that exceeded the statute of limitations could file a civil lawsuit in a 1-year window. The first of those, of course, came against him from ex-girlfriend Cassie, which we spoke about briefly. And then the second one was the one I read previously to you before this one being the third one. But then later this week, a second woman, Joy Dickerson, which I spoke to you about before this one, did hers as well. These last-minute lawsuits is an example of how a well-intended law can be turned on its head, a spokesperson for Puffy told the media. In other words, this law was meant to actually help real victims, but instead, what it did was it empowered women who knowingly went into situations back in the day, got nothing out of it, realized that they allowed themselves to be used, but now they see it as a payday, a retirement fund payday. Reach out, make an accusation, get some money, and that be that. What I'd like for y'all to do is leave your comments in the comment section below, right? Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. My disclaimer is, I was not there. Therefore, I am neither confirming or denying anything because I don't have the power to do so. I don't know if these women are telling the truth. I don't know if they're telling lies. I don't know if Puffy and Aaron Hall are telling the truth. I don't know if they're lying to protect what they have going on today. 30 years ago, Puffy was blowing up. He was not wealthy. Today, fast forward 30 years, he has amassed serious wealth and serious power. He is on the billionaires list. So, he has a lot to lose. So why would he come out and say it's true if it was true, right? Right. So keeping that in mind, I have no dog in this fight. I'm just sending the details out so others are aware of them and we can have a discussion based on those accusations. Do you think these women are out here just trying to grab some money? Or do you think that they're telling the truth? Do you think that Puffy and them are lying? Or do you think that they are just being victims of these people who are after money? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you on the next video. It's Brainflow TV. I'm out. Peace.